Morning, y'all. Flatbed 101 with Mike. And welcome to Salt Lake. Or, well, I'm in Ogden, Utah now. Nice winter wonderland we got going here. It's slicker than hell. But we are the fourth truck in line, and we got a little ways to wait. So I figured I'd show you what we had. It was tarped. It was tarped pretty good, and it looked a lot like the last video, honestly, like the shotgun coils I had. But this is a load of suicide coils. We got 3 of them. The 2 big ones are about 19,000 pounds a piece. Actually, I think one's 18 and the other one's 19. And then the little one in the middle is 9,000 pounds. Now, if you look at your cheat sheet, with our grade chains, it'll show 3 chains for the 19,000 pounders and 2 chains for the 9,000 pounder. And I've got them. Well, they are butted up to each other now, but, well, that one's not. We left a little bit of space between them, no big deal, but that was just so we could get them under one tarp. I like to center load my shit, which, as we know, center load on a 48 or a 53 with the axle spread is right here at the light, okay? So we wanted to do 3 in the front, 2 in the middle, 1 in the back, because I opted for centering all of my weight. So I put the 2 big ones on the ends with the little one in the middle so that it's all kind of even front to back. Then we got 2 different chain styles going on here, okay? So we got our snap binders, we got our little clips in here to hold the snap binders down, because why not? That extra precaution. These little clips you can get for $6 at TA and Petro. They are $6 a piece, and I love them. This thing will not come undone as long as that thing is on there, period, end of story. It's just not happening. I also like to put my excess. Let's see if you can get in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm using the pen to hold my excess so that it can't come outside the rub rail and hit a car or something like that, because that's never good things. So we've also got chain corner protectors to protect the product from damage, because this is a softer metal, and we tighten our chains down with everything we have. So we definitely want to do some protection on the product. Now we're coming down. Now this has been a point of contention in a lot of the groups lately on Facebook about how to properly do this method of chaining. Now, you see I've got it hooked to the stake pocket, okay? Now, here's the key points on doing this correctly and not breaking your stake pockets, okay? You always have an acute angle here, never an obtuse angle. For those of you that weren't very good at math growing up, an acute angle looks like this, where it's less than 90 degrees, and an obtuse angle looks like this, where it's more than 90 degrees. So you want less than a 90 degree angle here, so it's got to come back, and then you want to go up through the stake pocket and then hook to the same side as you've got your chain, okay? Don't hook over here, because then you're going to pull this way on it, and you're going to break the stake pocket. Make sure you go up through the stake pocket. Don't just hook it right here, because then all your pressure is pulling this way, and it will break that stake pocket. It will break the top of it right off. I've seen the damage on some of our trailers from people doing this incorrectly, okay? And the same thing happens if you go with an obtuse angle and say go to this stake pocket instead. You'll end up breaking it down here, because you just put too much tension on it. The reason you do this acute angle and then up through the stake pocket on the same side is you are distributing the weight, is what you're doing, okay? Now, our next chain is the more popular method, another popular method of doing it, which is our middle chain, and it comes down, it wraps around 2 spools and then hooks back to itself, and you always have your chain hook pointed out, always. I don't remember why, to be quite honest with you, but old man Bill, that did our load securement classes for years and years and years and years, used to harp on that crap, so I tend to take his word for it. If somebody has the reason why, feel free to post it in the comments, and I will learn something. I like learning things. Go for it. So anyway, always 2 stake pockets. You never, never, never go with just one, because one doesn't have the weight rating. to handle a load. Like the weight rating on one stake pocket or one spool is absolute shit. So you want to go through 2 spools and then back up to itself and then hook it. And then you'll bind it in the middle and all your excess goes in the middle. Now on my back one, I did another, just like before, again, acute angle, up through the stake pocket, hooked to the same side. Did the same thing here from my middle spool, my middle coil, my front one, same thing. Acute angle, up through the stake pocket. Acute angle, up through the stake pocket on the same side. And this one, I couldn't get, you notice I couldn't get a spool and a stake pocket, or 2 spools, because I had a spool and a stake pocket in the middle. I could have gone with these 2 spools, but my rule of thumb is I always want more pressure pulling a suicide coil back than I do forward, because the danger is going to be when you slam on the brakes. So if you've got more pulling forward than you do pulling back, and you slam on the brakes, well, that coil could very easily start coming towards you. So you want to have, if you can't have one pulling straight down and you're going to do 3 chains, have 1 pulling forward and 2 pulling back, because the danger is when you slam on the brakes. That fucker ain't going to brake and go rolling off the back just all on its fucking own. That's the danger. That's what we're trying to prevent, is if somebody cuts you off and you have to hit the brakes really hard or whatever, then the chains don't break and end up, now you got a coil in your cap. So always more pressure pulling back than you do forward if you have to do an odd number of chains and you can't go straight down with your middle one. And you'll see it's the same thing every time. Acute angle, up through the stake pocket, hooked to the same side, same thing, same thing. And I match, and you'll notice the chains, they go through and then they hook to the exact same spot on the other side. Now that's actually important. It seems like a little nitpicky thing, but it's actually important, because if you think about it, you know, let me set you up here where you can see me. That'll work. If you think about it, if you've got your coil, okay, let's look at an overhead view. You've got your coil. You've got a chain hooked right here. You come through, and then you got a chain hooked at a different spot. Like say you got one hooked here and here. Okay? Well, what that's going to do is that's going to put uneven tension on your coil. And so your coil could end up spinning a little. You don't want that. Now, a situation like this where you got 3 coils butted up against each other, yeah, you're probably not going to run into that because the other one's going to keep it in place. But what if you're hauling that one coil that's like 45,000 pounds and all your shit's all wonky and you got one here and your coil will start to rotate. So it's really important when you're doing chains on coils, if you hook to one spot on one side, you need to hook that chain to the same spot on the other side. That's honestly really all I've got about this. I wanted to do another suicide coil video and address these chains because there's been a lot of debate on how to do your chains in the groups lately, and I figured little information might not hurt. Plus, I haven't been putting a lot of videos up, and I've been getting people asking for them, so why not? The snow is affecting my thing. All right. Before the snow decides to completely ruin my phone, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. You guys, as always, comments, questions, suggestions are always welcome. Feel free to like and share the videos all you want. I love the fact that these are traveling around and helping guys. I've gotten to the point where I'm having people that I don't even know thanking me because they learned something. And that makes me feel really good. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. So, y'all take it easy. Be safe. Peace.